then Charlie, no? You can give a little background about the place and what is happening here.
Yes. Okay.
Because for
So,
many of them, this is their first
we
time.
started, Paradiso started 2 years ago. But before that 2 years, we had a full 8 months to build it. It has 3 stages. This is the first one. We call it the first stage, which is the forest house. This is not forest house. This is the art house. So you can see there are many paintings. Some of them are for sale. I think one was sold, but the others are still with us. And then we have another one, which is the if you go on top of the hill, there's a beautiful house there, overlooking the sea. We call that this art house. That's,
Tree house.
No, that,
Tree house.
we call it the family room house, because it's complete with it's a house. It's got a kitchen, bedroom, dining room, and a good veranda facing the sea and the garden. And then, going down, as brother would say, there's another house. You go down the hill. We call it the forest house. It's inside the forest. There's a pool, and it's a dorm type. You know, so it's less in price.
Wooden house.
Wooden. The other house on top is also wooden. You should take a look at it. And then we have a view deck house. If you see it from on top. Then we have our environmental work in front of us. I mentioned it to them, brother. We have the underwater Last Supper, not Fishers of Men. And then we also have the Road to Emmaus. If you see the picture in the front desk, on the front desk, when you look at the front desk, there's a picture there, a photography. That's the Road to Emmaus. You haven't seen it, but there are 2 statues beside that. That's part of our coral plant. We planted the corals in that picture, no? And then we're dropping 50 clams coming this Wednesday. They're coming here from Bolinao. They're coming from the Marine Science Institute of UP. They're bringing in their how do you call them? They're marine biologists. They're going to give a seminar, and they're going to drop the 50 clams, the giant clams, underwater. And there's a sponsor coming for that, who sponsored the 50 clams on Wednesday. The owner of FastCat. This is the latest Roro. They're a national, the Roro. They're from north to south. So she's coming here because they're environmentally involved as their advocacy. And we have a total of about, I think, 12 rooms. No, we can take as much as 50 people. And also, right in front of you, I mentioned to you, this is the center of biodiversity in the world. No, you can Google that and research. It has about 6,000 species, I said, of fish, and 3,000 species of corals. It is more diversified than the barrier reef. So our aim here is to do both. We have an environmental advocacy. We are a resort to make our own financial margins. And originally, this is a real estate venture. We're actually selling. Yeah, we're open to sell this or the upward upstairs. No. I'm saying that only now. We weren't ready yet then. But actually, we were supposed to build condominiums upstairs, but that didn't push through. So I thank you for coming. I thank you, brother, for gracing this occasion. By the way, I say this is our center for positive change. I will show you our video pala downstairs. Brother, you should see our video which we did. We did a 12-minute documentary. It is now in Toronto. We are completing the documentary in Toronto and Vancouver. and I think there's one that we're sending to Princeton University. So we should get the results within the year if we place anything on that video. No, if we made even third place on that
Charlie,
video.
given the what Paradiso Rito is and what it represents, how does it connect with Brother Monicalio, the examen, and
No,
entrepreneurship?
it's as I said, it's a center for positive change.
Okay.
So that's what we want to do. That's how I envision it. It's in the documentary. If you watch it, I'll make you watch it later, lunch. And I think in that way we're connected. So we've done seminars, workshops, team building. We've been doing it for the last 2 years. You know?
And we've done this 3 times with Brother Mon.
It's the
First
second
was
time here.
Eden was here. Second time was in Batulao, which is the place for the Salesian Priest Brothers. That's where the retreats are held in Tagaytay. The third time we're doing it again with Brother Mon is here. So this is the third round of Ignatian retreat that we're experiencing through a Salesian brother.
Yes.
Why? That's what Brother Mon will explain. Brother Mon was introduced to me through Charlie. Charlie's been a spiritual directee of Brother Mon for years. And after I got to know Brother Mon, he became my spiritual director also. And out of this friendship, we can call it friendship, through the years, as spiritual directory and spiritual director, we're now moving with seeing whether the examen, which is a creation of Saint Ignatius of Loyola 400 years ago, can be very helpful to our life today in very busy, economically bullish Philippines, and from here, the rest of the world. So Brother Mon is really, in my opinion, pioneering something that you are now participating in. Why? Because of course, can we really apply it to our own life? And what fruit will it bear in our personal life and our professional life as entrepreneurs? So that's the question I'm posing. And who is Brother Mon? I think the best one to explain who he is Brother Mon himself. So please give him a hand and welcome.
Welcome.
So before I introduce myself, let's introduce each other first. I don't think we know everybody very well here. So a little background about yourself. Yeah. What kind of work are you in? How did you get into this? And what got you interested?
I can start. I'm Larry Gamboa. I currently serve as chairman of IMAX DRP, which is involved in real estate. Through the last 12 years, I've been doing Think Rich Pinoy abundance seminars, financial literacy, real estate. In fact, we have one this coming January 26th, next Saturday. We have already more than 51 participants enrolled. It's been our advocacy. And we want to continue serving people through the Think Rich Pinoy Abundance Seminar. It's connected to Bo Sanchez, through the Rich Club, and Bo Sanchez advocacy that he wants to make good people rich. Make good people rich. We serve it through real estate. Bo does it with the stock market. And we're now trying to extend the service to a coaching program, TRP, Club TRP Coach. And I guess that's the motivation why I'm here. One, to learn, to deepen relationship and prayer life with the help of Brother Mon. And two, to be able to spread the good news of how examen can help us personally and professionally. And I'm here to just share what little I've picked up on
in a transition stage because I'm an employee right now, but I'm being mentored by Eden and of course Sir Larry. But it's mostly Eden who's really my teacher, my mentor for real estate. So I know, um, I know that sooner or later I'll be in the field of real estate. But the timing of things I'm still planning out. I think this is one of my first steps to making a strong plan for myself. And of course, I want to see how um, what guidance this can give me also in my personal relationships, my personal life, family life. Yeah.
Very good. So about me, this recording is because of these two guys. They want me to come up with a book regarding this. But since I didn't have the time to sit down, to put my thoughts together and to write, so they said, let's record it. And then they'll do the writing, do the draft, and then I'll do the editing. Okay, no? So, sige, no? How did I get myself into this? So, a little background about myself. So, I'm a brother of Don Bosco. Okay. I grew up with Don Bosco since elementary. Okay. And then entered the minor seminary in Pampanga. So I'm already on my 30th year as a brother. So I won't become a priest. Last January 12, I celebrated my 50 years. So golden boy. I thought when I turned 40, that was my peak. I didn't realize that turning 50, something more will be asked of me. So this will be my last engagement in the Philippines in terms of a retreat. Kasi by first week of March, I am transferring to our head office in Rome, okay, to do this same work of formation, spiritual direction, but worldwide. Okay. So that will be for the next 3 to 6 years. Okay. I came to know Charlie first of all because he went to me for what we call retreat in daily life because he was discerning his direction in life, and it seems it helped him a lot because he could see how things were happening in his life, and because of that he started to share the experience to others, starting with Larry. And then Larry, who was also going through his own transitions in life, came to me also for spiritual direction. So both of them were so excited about it, and then it was shared with the family. The family members started coming, and then from there it was shared with Remax, and then now we find ourselves here, where you are right now. Okay. So, what is the novelty of this retreat, or what makes this retreat something interesting for Ralph, for Oliver, for Glenn, and for Charlie and Larry, so well, it's Charlie, Larry would always call it examine and entrepreneurship. I'm not an entrepreneur, okay, but we know very well that the things that we use for entrepreneurship are something always basic in terms of starting from who we are and where we are right now. Okay, nagsisimula kung sino ka, ano yung talents mo, yung gifts mo, at yun yung ginagamit ng Diyos for you to grow as a person, for you to grow in your relationship, and to grow also in your career. Okay? So, masasabi mo na at a certain point in your life, this area I am good at. This one, no. This other one, I'm still discovering something. Okay. So the retreat, these 3 days will be an opportunity for us to make use of this examen, in order for us to first of all get to know who we are, mapanghawakan yung sarili, kasi ikaw ang nagdidesisyon, so importante kilala mo yung sarili mo. Okay, so that's the first one, getting to know who you are. Second, how knowing yourself impacts on the decisions that you make. Okay, like some of you were saying, you're into transition, you're about to make a decision, or how do I focus and streamline? It all requires decision making. Okay. And then the third one is, why retreat context? Okay. Because we want to involve God in our decision making. Okay. So, kasi all of us make decisions. Tama? Every day. Pero not everybody makes decision in such a way that we involve God in the decision making. Okay, that God becomes involved, it makes the decision better. Okay, kasi hindi ka mag-isa na nagde-decision. Kasi kahit na sabihin mo nagde-decide ka, there is a feeling still of uncertainty. Tama ba? Magiging maganda ba yung resulta? So sometimes nandoon yung hesitation or yung insecurities in terms of decision. So practically the examen is a tool that will give us a way by which we can be guided personally. Okay, so the retreat will be in that sense. We will give you experiences. Okay, and then we will give you the tool. Tapos doon sa experience mo, paano siya pumapasok sa examen, para maintindihan mo yung tool. Kasi yung sinasabi ko, ginagawa mo na. Nag-decide ka na, nag-iisip ka na, di ba? Pero yung maintindihan, ano yung nangyayari, yun yung importante. Kasi pag naintindihan mo na, next time you have an experience, you would know how to apply it. Nagiging proactive in that sense. So that is the whole idea of the examen retreat. So, walang masyadong say theory, walang masyadong theology, hindi. It's really learning from our experience and trying to put some sense in terms of what tool can I use that I can make sense of the experience, and then it will guide me as I go through further experiences. Diba? Kasi ang kuminsan, nangangapa tayo. Bakit lagi na lang ako nangangapa pag merong bagong experience? Samantalang if we know why or how to go about it, then we become more at peace. We become more confident. So that will be what the retreat will try to do. And the second, also to give us an opportunity to have some space for ourselves. So makapag-relax, pahinga, kasi that is also needed. One of the things I always do on a retreat is I always tell the participants, I am here to take care of you. Kasi by taking care of you and you learning to take care of yourself, you would know better how to take care of others. Like some of you, you're not only career women, you're also mothers, you're also wives, some of you are breadwinners. Diba, may inaalagaan kang iba. Diba? Yung nga lang ang tanong, paano mo inaalagaan yung sarili mo? O sino nag-aalaga sa iyo? So this is also an opportunity for us to take care of ourselves. So it's not being selfish for you to find time for yourself to come here. Okay, hindi. No? Kasi when you find time for yourself, you become a better person. When you become a better person, you make others better. No? Kasi kung pagod ka na, wala kang break, magiging masungit ka. At susumutan mo na yung iba. Diba? Nang kahit ayaw mo, nagiging natural reaction siya. No? Kasi may sinasabi na yung katawan mo, may sinasabi na yung psyche mo na napapabayaan mo na yung sarili mo. Nagre-reklamo yung katawan mo. Nagre-reklamo yung unconscious. Kaya na ganyan. No? So, it's good that we are able to attend. So yun, so our schedule, no, we will have the schedule in such a way that by 4, 5 we finish. And then 5 to 7 for individual consultation if you want. And then nothing after dinner. So it's just relaxation. And then tomorrow, for those who wish to go for the Mass, we'll have an opportunity to go for Mass here in Mabini Church at 9 o'clock. So we don't have to wake up early to go to Mass. We drop by the church to see the schedule of the Mass. The church is very nice. Maganda yung simbahan. Kasi siguro dahil yung mga nakatira rito, mga Italy-based kaya yung simbahan. Fully furnished. So 9 o'clock. And then, that morning, we'll have time for swimming, relaxation, snorkeling, and then we'll start after lunch for the sessions. And then Monday, we'll end by lunch break. Kasi some of you are living far, so you'll have to travel. So, to cross EDSA takes all the time. Like Jen, leaving at 3 in the morning just to arrive here by 8. It's not a joke. So hopefully we can make it worthwhile for you. Okay. So what we will attempt to do today is to explain what the examen is all about. This is something that Eden, Larry, and Charlie have already heard. But yeah, so it will be more of a review. So I call it inner compass, no? Kasi when you talk of a compass is something that you use to find your directions, diba? Pero the directions is not something outside. No, the direction is something that you hold in your hand. No? So also in terms of direction, the direction is something that you find in yourself. No? Kasi diba kung minsan kahit sabing turn right, no? Yung isip mo, bakit ako nagle-left? Sabi, turn right. So, disoriented sa loob. Kaya kahit klaro yung direction, nagkakamali pa. So the first thing I'd like to invite you, is first of all to enjoy the silence. Silence is a very rare commodity nowadays. No? Kahit na nasa kwarto ka na, papatay na ang TV, napapatay na ang radio, biglang mag-bip ang iyong cellphone. Or paminsan unconsciously kahit walang message, we look at the cellphone. No? Ganun lang. So, I'd like you to enjoy the silence. No? So, how do we enjoy the silence? Okay. So, what I'd like you to do is you follow my instructions. Okay. And then with that, I will help you to enter into the silence. Okay. So, susundan mo lang yung instruction ko. So, we go through the experience. After ng experience, saka ko i-explain. Okay. So, dadaanan mo. So I'd like to invite you to sit comfortably. where you are. And then I'd like you to focus on where you are seated. I mean, enjoying your comfortable place where you're seated. And then enjoy what you see. Enjoy the beauty of the painting. Enjoy the outdoors. Like you were saying, ano nga ulit?
Sheila.
Sheila, no, was saying, uy, ganda ng mangga. Okay, mabubuga. So enjoy what you see. And then as you enjoy what you see, I'd like to invite you to focus on an image in the room that catches your attention. So kung saan yung may nakita ka, tignan mo. Okay, let it catch your attention, what it is about that image that attracts you. And then I'd like to invite you to listen to all the sounds around you. The sound of the electric fan, the sound of my voice, the sound of the waves. All other sounds that you hear. And then I'd like to invite you to listen to your body. Listen to your body. Are you tired? Are you relaxed? Are you tense? Are you feeling any pain in any part of your body? Any stiffness? Pay attention to it. And then listen to your breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it fast? Or is it slow? If there are distractions, just focus. Pay attention to what you see, what you hear, what you feel, and what you sense. So what happened? Okay. No? So no, what we did first of all was no, to focus on having what we call external silence. No? So silence is not the absence of noise. No, it is being comfortable with all the noise around us. No? So, anong ginawa natin? No? Nandoon pa rin yung, kita mo, no? Yung electric fan, pwedeng maging ingay. Yung nakita ko na image, pwede siyang maging distraction na. Na-cut shot ako ng attention na yon, nakalimutan ko na yung sinasabi ni brother. No? So, ang ginawa natin is, silence is not the absence of noise, but instead, it is allowing this noise to be present, acknowledging that it is there. So, ang ginawa natin was to be attentive. Imbis na itinabi natin, binigyan natin ng pansin. We paid attention to it. So, what happened? When you started to pay attention, let's say, at this mango tree and the fruits, you started to put aside all the other images. No? So you were helped to focus. Okay? No? So, sa simula, lahat tinitingnan mo, no? Alin pa rito yung maganda. Pero when you started to focus, nakalimutan mo na yung iba. The same, no? Sabi ko, listen to all the sounds around you. Diba? Pinakikinggan mo yung electric fan, yung waves, yung motor, yung boses ko. Hanggang sa, I told you, focus on just one. When you focus on the waves, at a certain point, napapakinggan mo na yung rhythm. Nung pinakinggan mo yung waves, nakalimutan mo na yung image. And then, when I ask you to focus on your body, nakalimutan mo na yung sounds. Okay? And then, when I ask you to focus on all of this, nakalimutan mo na yung concerns mo. At yung nangyari bago ka dumating dito. Nakalimutan mo na yung problem sa car. Nakalimutan mo na yung travel time. Diba? No? So what happens is when you become attentive, you allow yourself to be present to the here and now. And you're able to live the moment. No? You're able to live the here and now. Not the past, not what happened this morning. Hindi eh. No, it's living here and now. So what happened? You created that space between what is happening outside and what is happening within. Okay? No, kaya ngayon iba sinasabi, hindi ako makapag-decide, magulo isip ko. Okay. Bakit? No? Kasi nga, ang ingay nasa loob. In the same manner na nakasakay ka sa jeepney o sa bus, maraming ingay. Pero, nakakapag-isip ka, nakakapagplano ka, nakakapagdasal ka. Diba? Bakit? Kasi I've created that space between what is happening outside and within. Mas mahirap, definitely. Different from, kunyari, nasa retreat house ka. Yung retreat house, tahimik. No? And yet, no, people can be very distracted in a retreat house. Tahimik yung retreat house, pero maraming ingay. Bakit? Kasi nandoon sa loob. Okay? So, no, importante yung silence. When you're able to achieve external silence, then it becomes easier, no, to what we call, no, facilitate interior silence. Yung maging komportable ka sa katahimikan sa labas, maging komportable rin sa loob. Kasi it could happen that, as I was saying, outside it's quiet, but inside it is not. Okay. Yung image ko dyan na maganda, yung glass of water. Yung glass of water, pag nilagyan mo ng mud, and you shake it, it becomes murky. Diba? Maburang yung tubig, no, pag may dumi. Okay? Pero pag yung glass, iniwan mo dyan, ano nangyayari? Lahat ng dumi nagse-settle down at the bottom. So, ang ginawa natin ngayon, ganun din. Pumupo ka dyan, sabi ko, manahimik ka. So, ano nangyari? O yun, no? Lahat ng mga concerns mo and distractions mo, nag-settle down. Yung mga concerns mo started to settle down. So, to the point na, yung mga hindi importante, nakalimutan mo na. Na nakapasok ka na dito. Okay. Ngayon, dahil bumaba yung dumi, ano nangyari? Naging clear ngayon yung water. Dahil naging clear, pagdating sa buhay mo, ganun din. Pag nananahimik ka, nagkakaroon ng clarity. Pag nananahimik, nagkakaroon ka ng space na mag-isip. Nagkakaroon ka ng space to sort out things. Ano yung importante, ano yung hindi. At dahil yung dumi, nandoon na sa ilalim, mas madaling i-scoop out. Diba? Unlike kung kalat siya. Kasi kung kalat, hindi mo alam, alin ba rito yung scoop out ko? Alin ba yung importante sa kanya? Samantala kung mag-settle down yan, alam mo na yung malalaki, pwede ko scoop out. Yung maliliit, pwede ko nang gamitan ng hose. So, naalis yung dumi nang hindi significantly nababawasan yung tubig. Okay. So, ito yung sinasabi natin, no, na importante yung moment for silence. Sa pananahimik, I'm giving myself space to clarify things for myself. Some people, especially young people, they are afraid of silence. Bakit? Kasi they thought that by being silent, magulo raw yung isip nila. Okay, bakit? Kasi nga, lahat ng noise na nasa loob, nagsusurface. So they are afraid of that. Pero when you think of it, it's only momentary transition. Actually, ang ginagawa mo sa pananahimik, hinahayaan mong lumabas yung ingay. Okay. Hanggang sa you start to settle. Okay? So, yung the Little Prince, it is only with one's heart that one can see clearly, and what is essential is invisible to the eye. So, what happens is when we are silent, we develop what we call interiority. Anong pagkakaiba ng silence sa interiority? Yung silence, you're just being at home with not having any noise. Interiority, on the other hand, is you are paying attention to what is happening within. Kasi sa pananahimik, may nangyayari sa iyo. So you're able to pay attention. So the awareness examen, the consciousness examen, is one tool that makes use of that. Okay? Makes use of. Later on, we'll explain the whole process. So I don't talk about consciousness, I talk about interiority. Kasi pwedeng alam ko lahat na nangyayari sa akin sa labas at nangyayari sa akin sa loob, pero ang tanong, ano yung effect sa akin? Pwedeng alam ko anong dapat kong gawin, pero bakit hindi ko ginagawa? Okay. So, it takes not only being aware, but reflecting on what am I going to do about it. Okay? So, ang problema, hindi ka makakapag-reflect kung magulo ang isip. Okay. So, prerequisite yun. You need to find time to be silent so that you have space to reflect. Pag may time ka mag-reflect, naso-sort out mo ngayon. Ano yung importante, ano hindi. Ano ang uunahin ko, anong iuhuli. Ano yung pwede kong desisyonan, ano yung hindi. Ano yung pwede kong pabayaan, ano yung pwede akong maghintay. Okay? And then, because you are able to reflect and sort out things, it becomes easier now for you to decide. So, interior attitude helps us to develop what we call a discerning attitude. Ano nangyayari? We are helped in terms of developing a discerning attitude in terms of decision making. Lahat tayo nagde-decide. Okay. Pero hindi lahat ng decisions that we make sinasama natin ang Diyos. Pagkasama ang Diyos sa decision making, ang tawag doon, discernment. Kasi discernment is doing God's will. Deciding with God. Now, why is deciding with God better than deciding by myself? Bakit mas maganda yung kasama ko ang Diyos sa akin decision making compared sa ako lang yung nagde-decide? Okay. Yung ikaw lang ang nagde-decide, walang masama. Okay, mabuti yon. Sabi ni Pope Francis, mas mabuti pang mag-decide ka at magkamali kesa hindi. Okay, bakit? Kasi kung nagkamali ka, matututo ka. Kung hindi ka nag-decide, hindi ka mag-grow. Pangalawa, bakit mas okay yung discernment kesa decision making? Kasi sa discernment, hindi lahat tungkol sa sarili ko alam ko. Hindi lahat sa buhay ko, hawak ko. Yung Diyos na mas malawak ang pananaw. Yung Diyos na mas malawak ang alam. Yung Diyos na gumawa sa akin knows me better than I know myself. Okay? But the problem is, this God cannot force me to do things. Otherwise, He will not be respecting the freedom He gave me. Okay? So, ang ginagawa niya is just to help us and then to dialogue with us. So, part of the freedom that He gave us is the risk of making decisions that are wrong. Part of the risk is making mistakes. Okay? So, dito, sa diagram nakalagay is, when we make decisions, the invitation is to be free from, okay, so that we can be free to, and then we can be free for. Ano ibig sabihin? Sample. Ano ulit pangalan mo? Neil. Letter N. L. Lil. Okay, so si Lil, now you're transitioning from business, let's say, to real estate. Tama ba? Okay, from being an employee to being self-employed. Okay, and looking into real estate as the possibility. Okay, so freedom from being an employee to being the boss. Okay, so freedom from that and all the things that is not helping you to be free. Okay. To be free to be able to do more. No, kasi you feel na, I can do more. Okay? Okay, why? Why do you want to do more? So that I can be free for other things. Bakit? No? Kasi kung ako ang boss, hawak ko ang oras ko, hawak ko ang pera ko, hawak ko ang decision making ko. Hindi ako dependent sa company for my security, hindi ako dependent sa boss for my decision making, hindi na ako dependent sa salary ko for my income. It all depends on me. Okay. Or it could also be freedom from my unhealthy attachments. Okay. Example, no? Ako, brother, naging ubos ang sweldo ko. Bakit? Kasi I am never free from shopping. Pag nakapasok ako sa mall, weakness ko ang sapatos. So, gano'n, no? So, to be free from my attachments which are not healthy, okay, so that I can be free to do the things that helps me to enjoy the money that I have. No? Para bang, I want to use this money to do other things like travel. Kaso hindi pa nakakaipon na pang-travel kasi nga, I am not free from this attachment of my weakness in terms of, let's say, buying unnecessary things. So I can be free. Okay. So what happens? Okay. So ang nangyayari sa atin is there's such thing as what we call compulsive living or reactive living. As against contemplative living or reflective, responsive living. Ang nangyari. May mga ginagawa ka sa buhay, hindi mo na pinag-iisipan. Automatic. Okay? Bakit siya naging automatic? Kasi mabuti siya, kaya nakagawian mo na. Nakasanayan ko na. We call habits. When the habits are good, they become virtues. Okay. When the habits are bad, they become vice. Nagiging bisyo. Okay. So yung bisyo, mga nakaugalian na hindi maganda. No, yung virtue, mga nakagawian na mabuti. Okay, so nagiging automatic, hindi na pinag-iisipan. Okay. Ngayon, how do you acquire that habit? Okay, no? Here we're saying that one way is what we call through compulsive living or reactive living. Example, pagdaan mo sa EDSA, you find all those billboards. Sabi ko, nagle-level up yung billboards. Na dati ang billboards, maliit na tarpaulin. Ngayon kasi laki na ng building at tarpaulin. Ang ngayon, ang ginagawa, pinipintura na yung buong building. No? Kasi parang hindi enough yung laki ng tarpaulin. No? Ngayon, yung latest, ang Guadalupe, hindi na tarpaulin, video wall na. No? Kasi hindi na nakokontente yung tao na picture lang. Kailangan gumagalaw. Di ba? Naging dynamic. Bakit? Kasi the idea is, they want all this advertisement, their stimulus, isa siyang udyok para sa atin na mag-respond. Okay? So may stimulus which invites us to respond. So ibig sabihin, sinasabi sa iyo, bumili ka ng kotse, bumili ka ng motorsiklo, bumili ka ng cellphone, bumili ka ng sapatos, bumili ka ng pantalon. Bakit? Kasi kung meron ka niyan, okay ka. Okay, katulad, uy, ganda ng pantalon mo. Yan yung nakita kong ina-advertise sa EDSA. Or, uy, no? Meron kang coaching ganyan, uy, yan yung latest model. Okay, so the idea of all this is to sell. Okay, so may stimulus, merong response. Or, ganito, no? Ano yung mga trigger points mo? Ano yung sinasabi ng ibang tao sa'yo na maganda that makes you feel good? Ano naman yung sinasabi ng ibang tao na immediately naiinis ka? Nagagalit ka? May mga bagay tayong gusto tsaka hindi gusto. Na pag ginawa ng ibang tao, natitrigger ka kagad. So may stimulus, merong response. Ano nangyayari? Sa compulsive living o reactive living, tignan mo. Walang space in between. Ang ginagawa mo is react immediately. Okay? Instead, the invitation is to have what we call contemplative living. Merong time for reflection and response. Ano yung ibig sabihin? May stimulus and then may response. So, ang nangyari dyan is, nandito yung billboard, at sabi ng billboard, bumili ka ng coaching ito, kasi ito yung latest, ito yung pinakamaganda, sikat ka, you're in. Okay. Ang response ko ay, bibilin ko. Kunyari, ito yung billboard. Coach, bibilin ko, hindi ko bibilin, bibilin ko pero wag muna ngayon. Okay. Bibili ako pero ibang model. Bibilin ko pero yung utang ko. Okay. Or bibilin ko pero antayin ko muna after some time. So ano nangyari? No? From the stimulus to the response, ano nangyari? You had marami kang choices. Okay? Na hindi lalabas yung choices mo kung you're just reacting to situation. Samantalang kung bibigyan mo yung sarili mo ng time para manahimik, to be silent, when you give yourself time to reflect, then you allow that creativity to come out. The creativity in order to explore my options and my choices in terms of decisions that are open to me. Okay? So, ganito yan, no? Ito yung example, billboard. Okay. Or, pag nami-meet ko itong taong ito, ang immediate reaction ko, kumukulo ang dugo ko. Nagagalit. Okay? So, ang reaction ko, magalit. Okay. Or, may choice ako, tatahimik muna ako. Papakiramdaman ko yung sarili ko. Nagagalit ba ako dahil hindi ko siya gusto o nagagalit ako dahil sa mali yung ginawa ko? Tatahimik ako, iiwas ako, kakausapin ko siya ng maganda, kakausapin ko yung ibang tao na pwedeng ko mausap sa kanya para iparating ano yung hindi ko nagugustuhan. So nakita mo, no? From the initial reaction of getting angry, I have many choices in terms of response. Okay tayo, or katay kay Lil. Okay. You want to go from, let's say, being an employee to being a real estate. So ang tanong dyan is, ito yung gusto ko. Okay. Ang tanong ay, ngayon ba? Next year? Immediately? Wag muna? Okay. No, Remax lang ba o meron pang iba? Ano pa yung dapat kong i-consider sa decision making? Okay. So, nangyayari is, ini-explore ko yung options ko. Bakit? More choices, more informed choices, better decisions. Kuminsan, ang difficulty natin is, decided na ako. Yung nga lang, ang problema ko is, alin, paano. At bakit ako undecided? Kasi hindi ko hawak yung information. Hindi ko hawak yung decision. Okay, so I need to explore more. No? Or another thing. May problema, no? Ito malaking temptation sa atin ito. No? Pag may problema, immediately gusto natin isolve. No? Especially in our world today, we are all control freaks. Parang remote control. No? Gusto natin instant pindot, no? Instant knob, no? Everything is instant. We want to control things. Pero na-realize natin, yung mga problema, the more you want to solve it, hindi all the time nasosolve. Kuminsan, the more you solve it, the more it becomes worse. Diba? Lalo nagkakanda-loko-loko. No? Meron namang ibang problema, hayaan mo lang. And then it solves itself. Hindi sa iyo nanggagaling yung solusyon. Diba? Ang gagawin mo lang is maghihintay, makikiramdam, no? Mananahimik. Okay? So you see, no? Even that one is a choice. No? Hindi laging reacting. No? Sometimes it is learning to wait. No? Learning na, okay, no? Will I solve? Not solve? Will I wait? Choice yun, even waiting, no? To wait is not to say no. It's to say not now, not yet. Okay? Not now, not yet. No? Kasi kung minsan, nandoon yung temptation. No? Gawin ka agad. No? Lalo na kung weakness mo. No? Kung weakness mo yung immediate decision making without thinking or reflecting about it, yun yung magiging pitfall or waterway. Okay? So, yun, no? And then, this one, remember, the evil one doesn't want you to think. He wants you to be a slave. Okay? Kasi, no? Pag ikaw ay nag-isip, delikado. Gagamitin mo yung freedom na binigay sa iyo ng Diyos. So, ang takot niya, baka mag-decide ka na hindi niya gusto. Diba? Kasi diba, that is what makes us God-like. No? Our freedom, no? No? The freedom of the will and the freedom of the intelligence. No? Yung kalayaan na mag-isip at yung kalayaan na mag-decide. Ayaw ng demonyo yun. Okay, ang kanya, don't think, just do it. Ganun ang ginasabi ng Nike. No? Just do it. Diba? Ganda na slogan. Okay, no? Pero, no? Kasi nga, pag nag-isip ka, baka mamaya hindi Nike bilhin mo. Off the record. Diba? Ganun yun eh. Okay? No, that's why, no, nagsimula ako by letting you appreciate, no, bakit importante yung silence. It's not for the sake of keeping quiet. Hindi eh. No, it is by being quiet, being silent, that I'm able to reflect and sort things out. Yun lang manahimik at mag-sort things out, malaking bagay. Okay? Kasi you are being empowered to decide. No? Like, no, for problematic priests, No, isa sa suggestion ng mga psychotherapists is, bigyan mo lang ng space na manahimik, no, at mag-isip-isip. Pagkatapos nun, okay na siya. All the more kung merong nagga-guide. Kasi kung may nagga-guide, mas napapabilis. Okay? No, kasi kung minsan, no, wrong question, wrong answer. Diba? No, good question, good answers. Okay. So you always assume that you are the originator of your own thoughts. It's time to rethink that theory. This is from the spiritual side. No, so, ngayon, yung sabi is, here, it talks about the interior movements of the spirit. So we're saying that there is the good spirit and the evil spirit who are competing in terms of my decision making. Kaya makikita mo, bakit mahirap mag-decide? Kasi may nakikialam. Kasi mo, dali-dali mag-decide, no? Black and white. Hindi may shades of gray. That is where it becomes challenging. Kaya you need to give yourself time. No? You need to give yourself, kailangan pakinggan mo, no? Kung gagawin ko ba ito, makakabuti ba o hindi? Okay. So you need to sort things out. Ngayon, no? Isa sa difficulty na lagi sinasabi sa akin is, Brother Mon, how do we discern? No, yung decision making, we know how to decide. Pero how do you discern? Okay. Well, one of the things is, how do I know that I make good decisions and bad decisions? We say, look at your patterns. Ano yung, isa sa dapat mong tignan ngayon, during this retreat is, ano yung decision-making style ko? Ano yung decision-making style mo na masasabi mo, every time I decide, it will be a good decision. Ano naman yung decision-making style mo na every time mag-decide ka, bad decision? Okay. So, how do I know? Look at your whole history of decision-making. Okay, from the time you were born until now. Okay, and what sense? Okay, when you look at your life, ano yung mga nangyari sa'yo na nag-decision ka, maganda yung resulta. Or, pag tinignan mo yung sitwasyon, hindi ka na nag-iisip, nagde-decide ka na kaagad. Okay, tatanungin kita, bakit hindi mo na pinag-isipan, nag-decide ka na kaagad? Kasi yung situation, familiar ako. Kasi yung situation, hindi na bago sa akin. Kasi yung situation, before nangyari na yung ganon, maganda yung result. Kaya, nag-decide ako magsabi na, let's say, yes. May karanasan ka na na maganda yung mangyayari pag ito yung magiging decision mo. Ganon din with regard to bad decisions. May situation, bakit immediately sinasabi mo, no? Ba't sinasabi mo, ayaw? Sabi so, hindi ma'am, tingnan mo muna, basahin mo muna, pag-isip, hindi. Okay, so pagtanong ka, bakit? Ay, kasi may experiences na ako in the past. Na every time na may dumarating sa akin, marketer, binobola-bola lang ako. Kaya immediately I say no. Kasi if I want, I know where to ask information. May patterns of bad decision. Pag pumayag ako, madali akong madala, mauto, ayan. Doon ako nadadali. Okay, so may patterns ka rin of what we call bad decision making. Okay, so like example, in my case, my patterns of good decisions is, pag sinasabi ko, Brother Mon, can you do this, can you do that? O sige, pag-iisipan ko muna. Check ko muna yung calendar ko. Okay, titignan ko kung it is in accordance with my expertise, my ministry. Ano yung pattern ko of bad decision? Ang pattern ko of bad decision pag hindi ako nag-isip. Bakit? Kasi ang training namin is to help people. We are trained not to say no, to be available, to be generous. So pag yes ako ng yes, ng yes, ng yes, doon ako nadadali. No, kasi wala na akong time mag-prepare, napupuno yung schedule ko, naiipit ako, napapagod ako, o yung binibigay kong talk, hindi ko linya, kailangan ko pa mag-aral, mag-research. Ganon. Okay. So may patterns, no, tayo of good decisions and bad decisions. Yung patterns mo of good decisions and bad decisions, diyan gumagalaw ang Diyos in terms of discernment. Kasi ang Diyos, no, gagalaw siya sa buhay mo. No? Gagawin niya, ikaw ang nagde-decide, susuportahan kita. Hindi yung siya yung magde-decide, tapos susunod ka sa kanya. Otherwise, ang mangyari, robot ka. Hindi eh. No? You are the ones deciding, He is there supporting you. No? Kaya ngayon iba nagrereklamo, no? Bakit yung Diyos natin ganyan? No, hinahayaan tayo, hindi nakikialam, no? Napapasama na tayo and all these things. Kasi nga, on the part of God, no, kung lahat na lang sa buhay natin, pakikialaman niya at siya magkocontrol, paano pang ginawa ka ng tao? Paano pa yung freedom mo? Diba? Then it becomes very manipulative, you become a puppet. Hindi that's part of the risk He takes. Otherwise, we will not grow. Diba? That's what our parents does. Diba? To bring us up so that we become parents ourselves. Otherwise, forever we are under habang buhay na may asawa at may anak, nasa poder pa rin na magulang. Diba? Hindi na lumaki. Okay? Sige. So, discerning. I have a little handout regarding this, just for you. Ano yan dinaanan? Okay, no, so you have there, no? Yung silence, no? The value of silence. Okay? So, external silence, internal silence, no? What happened, no? The exercise, okay? And then yung attitude, no? So, freedom from to be free for, no? So, example, no? Freedom from to be free for. Freedom from unhealthy attachments to healthy attachments, no? Kasi part of this is this one, no? Example, no? In my case, again, no? Isa sa naging na-realize ko, since we are trained to help people, we are trained to work, no? Ang naging pitfall ko is I am prone to burn out. No? Kasi we're taught to give ourselves, no? Sobrang pagbibigay ng sarili, walang time para alagaan yung sarili. So, nagkaroon ako ng patterns of burnout. No? Psychologically and physically. Kakasakit na, no, namamalat na, nawawalan ng boses, gano'n, no? Sa sobrang sipag. Okay? Before, hindi ko nakikita yon, no? Tapos later on, because of the examen, no, na-realize ko, uy, may pattern ako ng burnout. Bakit? No, kasi nakita ko, hindi lang isang beses, 2, 3 beses. No, so sabi ko, bakit ako nahuhulog sa burnout? Hindi ko marirealize yun kung hindi ko nire-reflect. Okay? Hindi ko marirealize yun kung hindi ako nasasaktan. Okay? So, na-realize ko kasi may nangyari. So dahil nakita ko na may pattern ako, burnt out, in the reflection is, bakit ako nabe-burnt out? Ano nangyayari? So example, no? Before, no, ang ginagawa ko ay, pag may activity, mahilig ako sa details. Okay, I like doing the planning, no? Kasi gusto ko maayos. Ang problema, sa sobrang involved ako sa details, by the time i-execute yung plan, pagod na ako. Hindi pa nangyayari yung activity. No, naubos na yung energy ko sa plan. Okay, so nakita ko yung pattern ko na ganon. Okay, then nakita ko yung pattern na ganon, sabi ko, okay, delegate. Okay, okay, no? Don't be concerned about the details. Trust your people. So, yun. So, nangyari, naging free ako doon. Now, the evil one will never stop. Okay, so, from beginning, middle naman. Okay. Ito na, the activity itself, on the spot. Okay. Ang nangyayari is, di ba, kahit anong ganda ng planning mo ng activity, something will always come up. Why? Because we are never in control of the whole situation. We are never in control of people. There are variables, no, that we are not in control. Remember, when you make a decision, you're making a decision based on what I know now. By the time in-execute mo, ilang araw na yung lumipas. Baka may mga bago nang nangyari. Kaya you have to be flexible and open enough. So, nangyari sa akin, during the session itself, ano nangyari? Ito ngayon, no? So, after the planning, nagbibigay na ako ng talk, nagbibigay na ako ng session. No? Paano ginagawa ng evil one? Tinitira naman niya ako sa aking insecurities. In what sense? Nagbibigay ako ng talk, after ko magbigay ng talk, ang tanong ko sa sarili ko, nagustuhan ba nila yun to? Naintindihan ba nila? Okay ba ako? Ganun. Lumalabas yung aking insecurity to the point na I start to reject myself. So sabi ko, teka lang Raymond, bakit mo nire-reject yung sarili mo? Okay? Sino may sabi sa'yo na hindi maganda yung talk mo? Okay, so the mind plays on itself, no? Kung ano na yung dumadaan sa isip ko, no? Na meron kang insecurity, na meron kang fear, may apprehension, normal yon. Okay? No? Lahat naman tayo, pag umaharap sa ibang tao, nandoon yung takot. Okay? Pero yung i-reject ko yung sarili ko, iba yun. Okay? So before, hindi ko nahuhuli. Hanggang sa na-realize ko, nga, no? Hindi gusto ng Diyos yun. Okay? No? Kasi kahit naman anong ganda ng talk ko, hindi naman lahat will find it beautiful. Kasi iba-iba yung pinanggagalingan ng audience. We can never satisfy or please everybody. So part of it is accepting who they are and accepting also who I am. Okay? Ang mahirap, no? I'm not able to accept who I am. Okay? No? Because I'm thinking of what they are thinking about me, which may not necessarily be true. Okay? So, nahuli ko yung sarili ko. Okay. Eto na ngayon. So, tapos na yung meeting. Okay? So, nakaraos ako. No? Beginning, middle, ending na. Okay? Pagkatapos ng activity, ang difficulty ko, no? Tapos na yung activity, pero yung adrenaline ko is still high. No? Tapos na yung activity, excited pa rin ako. Okay. No? Nag-uwian na sila lahat, ako masaya pa rin. Okay. No? So, hindi ako nakakalanding ng maayos. No? Nandoon yung restlessness. No? Yung pagod, itutulog lang. Pero yung psychological tiredness, is hindi na-address. Okay, so anong ginawa ko, no? Kasi nangyari, tapos na yung activity, tapos na yung activity, bakit ikaw hindi ka pa tapos? No? Walang ending. So ang ginawa ko, what I would do is, I would go outdoors. Enjoy the outdoors. Bakit? Kasi when I look at the outdoors, the view, when I go for a long ride, it catches my attention. When it catches my attention, nawawala na yung attention ko doon sa activity. Or kung minsan, ang gagawin ko, manunod ako ng sine. Movie watching. Bakit? Kasi ang movies, may ending. No? Kaya huwag ka manunod ng movie na walang ending. No? No, dahil may ending yung movie, no? Nakakatulong yun sa akin para magkaroon din ng ending. Diba? Kasi yung movie catches your attention, you get excited about it, you get caught by the story, diba? No, na para bang ikaw din nandoon. Pag natapos yung movie, tapos na rin. No, yun dynamics mo. And then you forget about it. No, so nakakatulong for me to slow down and to settle down. Okay? No, kaya katulad sa akin, no? Yung place of work ko is also my home. No? Yung office ko, semento. Yung kwarto ko, semento. No? So kung minsan hindi healthy, no? Katulad no, na nasa Makati ako, ang office ko, 3rd floor. Ang kwarto ko, 4th floor. Hindi man lang ako naaarawan, hindi nauulanan. No? Hindi healthy. No? So kung minsan, nasa kwarto na ako, dala-dala ko pa yung trabaho. Nasa Makati ako. So anong gagawin ko? No? After 5, bababa ako, mag-walk ako sa Legazpi Park, tapos babalik sa kwarto. Okay. No? Kaya nga sinasabi, huwag mong dalhin yung trabaho sa bahay. No? Mag-create ka ng what we call psychological space between your work and your home. Or kami sa table, let's talk about other things but not work. Bakit? Kasi yung kasama ko sa table, sila rin yung katrabaho ko. So, I mean, pagod ka na the whole day, pagdating sa table, yun pa rin ang pinag-usapan trabaho. Hindi healthy psychologically. Okay? So, importante yung transition. Okay? So, yan. So, one of the things you will have to reflect is, ano ba yung pattern of decision making? What are my patterns? No? Or what are my decision making style? Paano mo nasasabi na you make good decisions? Paano mo nasasabi you make bad decisions? Like, when I listen to my emotions, my feelings, I make good decisions. Bakit? Kasi I'm a thinking person. Kung minsan, kahit anong ganda ng idea, do I feel good about it? If I feel good about it, then it's good. Kasi could happen na I make good plans, but I don't feel good about it. What do I mean? Maganda yung plano. Ang tanong, yung bang mga tao na maapektuhan ng plano, ready ba sila? Kasi pwede maganda yung decision pero magre-react sila. Kasi hindi sila handa. Okay, or it could be na I'm a feeling person, so I base my decisions on feelings. Okay. That's good. Okay, kasi tayo may decision-making style. Yung isa, I like to have all the facts. Yung isa, how do I feel about it? Yung isa naman, what are the results? Okay? So what works for you, fine. Okay? No. Ngayon, yung feeling person, you have to balance it also with ideas. Okay? Kung minsan sa meeting, hindi nakakaintindihan. Bakit? Kasi yung isa nagde-decide based on facts, yung isa nagde-decide based on how he feels, yung isa naman nagde-decide based on results. Hindi nag-uusap. Kasi magkakaiba ng pinanggagalingan in terms of decision making processes. So you have to pay attention to that. Okay. No one way of deciding is the only way. There are different ways, pero the best way is what works for you. Okay. So yun, no? So what is your pattern of decision making? Your patterns of good decisions and bad decisions. Okay? So something for us to think about. Tapos later on, we'll do some shit. Okay? So, tigil muna tayo rito. Questions? Clarification?
So,
Yes.
question po, ano po yung mga typical na patterns of decision making? Yung thinking and feeling lang ba? Or marami pa?
Marami pa. So, meron kang yung basic, no? Thinking, feeling. Yung pangatlo ay kinesthetic. Yung isa, yung pang-apat pa ay yung iba yung gut feel. Yung iba yung sense feel. Okay. No, kasi hindi lang ano yung nararamdaman, pero tactile. Okay. So, kaya, kung minsan mahirap mahuli, no? Kung sasabihin mo lang na gano'n. Pero kung titignan mo yung mga experiences mo, and then you analyze it, you reflect on it, mauhuli mo yung sarili mo. No? Tapos, the way also is contrasting your good decisions and your bad decisions. Like, yun nga, no? Bad decision kasi inisip ko lang. Katulad no? Bad decision kasi inisip ko lang na maganda. Pero hindi ko tinanong kung okay ba yung mga tao tungkol doon. Hindi ko kinonsult ano yung naramdaman nila tungkol doon. So, lumalabas is, bossy ako. Nakakalimutan na you're not dealing with machines but with persons. Nawawala yung relational aspect. Kasi pwede mangyari, good decision, but not yet the right time. Example, sa real estate, gusto mo magbenta, ang ganda-ganda ng property, ang ganda ng price, bakit walang bumibili? Marami nag-i-inquire, hindi natutuloy. Kasi nga, good decision, pero baka the environment hindi conducive for buying. Hindi ganon. Not the right time. Kaya natutuwa ako ng sila Claire, nila Oliver, no? Kasi sinishare nila eh. Brother mo, tagal-tagal, walang sale. Puro inquire. Ano, no? Pero sabi ko, kita mo walang sale, inquire. Pero, tinitignan mo kasi yung results in terms of the sales. Pero ang tanong is, how does that make you a better real estate broker? Sabi niya, I become a real estate broker kasi I learned from the selling. Nung ginamit ko itong style na ito dito sa taong ito, it didn't work. So I tried a new one for this other person, and then another one, and then another one. So I learned different styles. By the time I reached the 5th person, I have the wealth of learnings from the other 4 clients. So pagdating ko sa 5th one, I have better resources in terms of what to say. Okay. No? So yung selling, end result na lang yan. Ang main result ay, how did it make you a better person? Kasi kung ikaw ay better person, madali na magbenta. Di ba yung property, hindi naman nagbabago eh. Di ba? Ang nagbabago yung tao na nagbebenta. Lalo na sa Philippine context, no? Kasi we are very relational. Kailangan may personal touch. Kaya usong-uso sa atin yung telemarketers, no? Call centers. Kasi that is what works. Tapos later on, we will look into the, yung criteria. Now, how do I know that these patterns of good, that they are patterns of good decisions and bad decisions? One of the things is, look at the results. Okay. One of the results of good decisions is you will never make decisions that will be bad for you. Tama? Okay. So, any good decision is supposed to make you a good person, a better person. Okay. And that is, what is good is what attracts us. No, hindi ka pipili ng masama. Ang lagi mo pinipili yung mabuti. Yung mabuti is, what is good is always attractive. What is beautiful is always satisfying, always pleasurable. No, kaya ang pagkain, masarap. Kaya ang pagkain, good. No? Kaya nga si Pope Francis, no? Even Pope Benedict XVI, they will always saying, no? Proclaim the beauty of the faith, the beauty of the arts. Kasi beauty is one way of accessing our Creator, one way of recognizing who God is. No? So example, the beauty of nature, the beauty of a rainbow. Diba? I mean, we are like tayo, no? We are so blessed, no? With the beauty of the Philippines. Ganun eh, no? Yung mabuti, no? That is what, so it makes us a better person. And then, as you become a better person, others also become better persons. Bakit? Kung masayahin kang tao, lahat ng tao na gusto rin maging masayahin will be attracted. Kung masungit ka, lahat sila iiwas sa'yo. Okay? So, as you become a better person, others become better persons. No, kaya yung paggawa ng mabuti, hindi lang sa paraan ng pagkakawang gawa. Hindi, yung pagbibigay ng mabuting halimbawa, giving good example, is also a way of doing good. Now, sometimes, giving good example is more demanding than doing good. Okay? Now, bakit? Mas mahirap disiplinahin ng sarili kaysa disiplinahin ng ibang tao. Diba? Pero, pag nadisiplina mo yung sarili mo, mas malakas ang impact. We look for models. Naghahanap tayo ng mabuting halimbawa. Naghahanap tayo ng pwede gayahin, tingalain. Okay, so becoming better person is not only doing it for others, no, it's also how we do it. No? Kaya kung may sasabihin, Brother Mon, yung anak ko, lagi ko pinagsasabihan, hindi na nakikinig sa akin. Sabi ko, sige, take a different approach, manahimik ka. Ha? Brother Mon, ang hirap yata noon. Kita mo? Manahimik ka. Pag nanahimik ka, after some time, ano nangyari? Sabi ng anak ko, nagbago daw ako. So, ano nangyari nung nanahimik ka? Nagbago rin siya. No? Kasi diba, ba't ko aawayin ang isang taong hindi naman ako inaaway? Diba? Pag inaaway ko siya, nang hindi naman ko siya inaaway, hindi siya may problema, ako. Diba? Ganun eh. No? So sometimes, it's taking a different approach to things. Tapos yung pangatlo, na criteria is we all come closer to God. Kasi diba, kung minsan yung mentality, basta ako mabuti kong tao, kayo, ewan ko sa inyo. Ganun mentality, yung kanya-kanya. O yung family ko, basta kami okay, kayo hindi ko na alam. Hanggang sa I am affected. Hindi no? The idea is, no, as you become better person, others become better persons. That is supposed to help us to come closer to God. Nakakatulong para mapalapit tayo sa Diyos. Otherwise, it is becoming selfish. hindi pa pwede. We are all interconnected. We are all interconnected. Okay.
I have a comment.
Sige, Charlie.
Just want to share this with you. This is the third time I do this. And I know I've heard it many times. 3 times. Brother mentioned in the beginning that I'm sure walang pinagbago. Tinutulong niya sa amin yan. My comment is this. I see myself growing as I hear it. I see myself applying it more as I hear it. It's like when you watch a movie, you see the same thing, but when you watch a movie beyond what you see, there is more substance. So, as I hear it now, and he says a certain phrase like, create a space. He just mentioned it, if you remember it, create a space. I can immediately apply it. I can immediately apply it because I've been doing it. I mean, I've made the effort to do it every time I get a lecture, so I don't get bored really when I hear it. There's always a new perspective, a new dimension. But I wonder, for you, how it's so beautiful when I hear it, when I see it, but I wonder how you can apply it to yourself now. That it just doesn't become another talk. I wonder how, like Eden, maybe you don't remember your first time. I wonder how you think of creating a space for you now, in your marriage, in your being president for 3 months. And I wonder when you leave here, for you, how would you apply it in reality? Because this is another seminar that you're taking, another retreat that you're doing, and you paid for it. I wonder how you will really grow as a person. I've grown because I've taken it several times. Either I've taken it because I want to hear him again, because he's my spiritual director, because I want to share it to you guys. But every time I hear it, brother, I'm growing. I can go deeper to what he's saying. So I really wonder, on a first timer, how you, in this first portion, you will apply it to your own situation. No, as you said, for a different person, maybe an American, culturally, would look at this differently, because they're not relational. As a Filipino, you will look at it differently because you are relational. I look at it differently because it's the third time I took it. And I can kind of apply it.
Maybe what we can do is access your experience.
Yes.
Okay, example, no? In the case of Lil, okay, you have always, let's say, been an employee. There is nothing wrong about being an employee. Okay, that has worked for you. It has been your bread and butter. Pero, what is it about your being an employee that all of a sudden, now you're making that jump, that leap, no? In order to want something more? Ano yung nangyari? Di ba? Ganun no? Ano yung nangyari dito? Okay, Jen. Di ba? Kay Jen, okay, no? Para bang, no, araw-araw na ginawa ng Diyos, ito yung ginagawa ko, no? Na para bang, akala ko itong business ko is just part of the job, no? Until umabot dun sa point na teka lang, no, parang hindi na ako in control, hindi na ako focus, no? Ang dami kong gustong gawin, pero ang tanong is, may direction ba? Okay, no? Or the same, no, with Sheila, okay, no? O daming trabaho nung Pasko, no? Ang daming demands. No? Pero what made you want to stop and okay, ako naman. No? Or kay Aiden, no? Yung sabi nga ni Charlie, no? Okay, no? Ito yung natutunan mo before, this is what works. Okay, no? Ano naman yung may bago ba? Or affirmation? Or there is something more? So you see, no? Doon pa lang, when you are able to access the experience. So what I'm doing is, I'm not giving you new experiences. Instead, what we're doing is, we are drawing from that experience, the learning. Para yung tool na examen, hindi siya yung para bang seminar na kinuha mo, tapos, sabi nga ni Charlie, yeah, it's nice, it's good, but after the seminar, finish. Hindi kasi it's not something I am able to relate with. No? Pero titignan natin, nangyayari ba sa iyo? Ganun ba yung nangyayari? Sige. Paano pa natin, how can we draw more from the experience? Kasi, we will always have experiences in life. Definitely. But not all experiences will be learning experiences. An experience only becomes learning when we reflect upon it. In the same manner, we have many experiences where God can enter into our life. But not all experiences become God experiences or religious experiences. So it's really a question of how do we see things. So the examen is a tool for us to look at things. It gives us that perspective.
So just in add to the comment is, I think the challenge is, how do you apply what you just heard immediately to your experience now? Kasi if you don't, in my experience, I don't, then I miss that opportunity. If I don't reflect on the experience, then I didn't grow. Because my tendency is not to reflect on the experience, because there's so many experiences, brothers, and we move forward and we move on different directions. And we don't stop and take space. If I don't stop and take space, then I just forgot the experience. Or I hid the experience because I don't want to get hurt. Or I want to escape the experience, so I want another experience. And therefore, if I didn't reflect on that experience, then it's my loss. So what I'm saying is, my comment is, something like this really makes you want to reflect, makes me want to process it, makes me want to process myself by seeing this. Because if I did before, when you will see this, I don't know how to process it. I know how to pray, and my prayer is to talk to Him, not to listen to Him. Or my prayer is more to manipulate God, to make what I want to happen happen. Because I did create space. No? I'm manipulating, I don't really experience it. I do not experience His love. That is what my comment is. Therefore, because of this, it makes me learn. After I've taken it 3 times, it becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. So don't miss that opportunity.
Yes, Larry.
I pick up from Charlie's comment about 3 times. The thing that helps me and is helping me move forward and figure out made a mistake or doing the right thing is the decision to practice the examen daily as taught to me by Brother Mon, and that daily practice of examen in a certain format. Kasi Ignatius as another format. Actually, pinalitan ni Brother Mon. Simple yung ginawa niya. But it really works with me. Why does it work? I see the result on a day-to-day basis. I was doing this yesterday. I made a decision after the examen, and then I see it move forward day to day, and then soon it's months and weeks, and now I'm looking back for years. So when Bo at the start of the year had a whole day meeting for the Web Circle Platinum members, yung una-una exercise guys, exactly what are on the past year, what are the peaks, what are the valleys, and ilista mo looking back at the year. I see movement that I can write down and that I already wrote down. Well, it's not in a notebook. I use the app in the telephone using what am I most grateful for today or yesterday, style the other one. Yesterday, number 1, number 2, number 3. I was really grateful. And I asked myself, why am I so grateful? I was happy. I felt God walking beside me. What was I least grateful for? Nag-away kami ni Godin, with my other children. And I felt bad. I felt insulted. I felt demeaned. And even yung least grateful na I felt bad, because I felt it, parang good pa rin kasi parang we became closer to each other kasi inawayan ako and then I had a chance to react and then in the reaction I can put this space and say, Lord, tulungan mo naman ako rito hindi kami nagkakaintindihan. Just talking to myself puts that space and I notice things happen daily, event, sometimes long term, short term, it's noticeable. So the excitement to me is very helpful. And when it becomes parang paulit-ulit, I see Brother Mon, fortunately, monthly. Eh ngayon, sabi niya, wala na siya. So siyempre, nasa utak ko, sino kakausapin mo ngayon? I-email ko na lang si Brother Mon. Every 3 months, bisitahin ko sa Italy at guguluhin ko siya. I'm looking for a way of confirming I'm in touch with God and God is been listened to by me because kasi yun ang hinahanap ko eh. The interaction between the spiritual director asking me hard questions and my looking to myself and trying my best to answer based on what I know about what happened. So the question of Charlie is so important. How do we know? Because it's true. We will come out of this retreat high. There's no experience like this. But we go back there. Balik na naman sa dating style. Decision making style, schedule style. The thing that helped me is to say, teka muna, yung examen gawin ko at this time, using this format, and then putting the results down in writing. Because I'm most grateful for, what am I least grateful for, and then what are the 3 things do I need you, Lord, today, as I do decide enter into the day, meet this person, etc. And parang I allow the space so he can somehow guide me. Now that guidance, hindi naman nagsasalita eh. Sometimes it's pausing and sometimes it's instinctual. I'll meet this person and I'm listening and then I react and speak. Sometimes I'm scared before I speak. But I can stop and say, Lord, yung galing sa tulungan mo naman ako ito. Tabihan mo ako sa conversation na ito kasi kung ako lang, nakatras ako, natatakot ako, medyo, fearful because of the potential result. Pero I can stop and talk to him. Sometimes before, sometimes during, sometimes afterwards to the examen.
Yeah. We say that God is always part of our lives. Nakikialaman Diyos, parte siya ng buhay natin. Yung nga lang, not all the time we recognize Him present. Pero if we only recognize Him present in our lives and how He's working, then we are able, we are better guided. Kasi nakikita mo, may direction pala yung buhay ko. Lahat palang nangyayari na ito, may patutunguhan. Yung sasabi natin happens by chance. Okay. Even things at a certain point, we ask ourselves, bakit nangyari, bakit hinayaan, may dahilan. We may not know the reasons now, or we might not even know the reasons in our lifetime. Maybe when we are heaven with Him, that's the only time we can ask, no? Why? Pero there is a reason why. Okay. So I think this is where Larry and Charlie was telling us that one of the things we need to do is through the examen to give us a tool to be able to see. No? Kasi nangyayari sa atin is ganito, no? May karanasan ako sa buhay, dinadaanan ko, tapos saka ako titigil at titignan ko ano nangyari. Okay. Tapos doon sa nangyari yan, naintindihan ko na kaya. Or, dinadaanan ako sa buhay, okay, tapos ang tanong, nasaan ang Diyos sa buhay ko? Okay. Pero ngayon, ang sinasabi natin pag tinignan mo kasi in hindsight, okay, maganda. Kasi tinignan mo. Nakakatulong yan in terms of direction you will take. Pero kasi ang difficulty is, okay yun kung maganda yung result. Paano kung hindi maganda yung result? Paano kung masakit, kung traumatic, mahirap tingnan? Diba? Mas maganda sana kung, sige Lord, mas maganda sana, ito rin, hindi rin maganda, na alam ko, katulad nito, lahat tayo, alam natin yung gusto natin para sa sarili natin. Pero ang tanong ay, paano? Diba? Nandun yung difficulty. I want to become more financially stable. I want to have more focus. I want to make that smooth transition. Pero paano? Hindi pa. So, ganun din. Sa prayer life, okay, nandito ang Diyos, ayaw, pangit naman na ang Diyos sabihin niya, o sige, halika, kaya mo yan, na ikaw naman, sabi mo, Lord, inandiyan ka na, kaya madali sa'yo magsabi niyan. Kami nandito pa. Paano kami makakarating diyan na nandito pa? Instead, what we want is better if kasabay ko siya. Better yet, na as I reflect on my experience every day, nakakatulong siya in terms of the direction setting that I need. So that after 5-10 years, when I look back, I have this experience to look back that gives me that direction in terms of way forward. So example, information from Charlie. Si Charlie came to me years back kasi he has a discernment to me whether to migrate to Canada or not. So ano ginawa namin? Years of accompaniment regarding God's will. Okay. Hanggang sa umabot kami doon sa point na, okay, he is ready to move to Canada. Okay. Pero ang tanong, paano mo nalaman na you are ready? Kasi I have already all these experiences of the past that I can look back to. Experiences wherein God has been affirming, guiding, and showing me the way. Na hindi niya nakita yon before. Pero dahil sa yung guiding him, how to reflect, making use of the examen, seeing ano yung nangyayari sa kanya na kikita in hindsight. And then, this experience now, ito ngayon ang ginagamit niya, dinodraw niya, in order to guide him towards the future. Kasi ang Diyos natin hindi nagbabago. Ang sitwasyon nagbabago. So yung Diyos na kasama mo noon, siya rin ang kasama mo ngayon, siya rin ang makakasama mo in the future. Diba? So ang kanya is the assurance na God will also be there in Canada. And things will be fine there. In the same manner, God also gives him the assurance that things he will live here will be fine. Kasi lahat naman itong nangyari dito dahil sa akin, hindi dahil kay Charlie. So kahit iwanan ko yan, hindi pababayaan ng Diyos. Kasi akin yan. No? You're just the instrument. Yes.
I know that because Charlie shared.
Right.
At the same time, to frankly say, pupunta sa Canada, ano niya. Tapos tutuloy niya yung project rito. Ano maganda, no? Within reef, corals, big clams. Hindi ako happy. Bakit? Oh, Charlie, kung umpisahan mo ito, itutulak mo itong project of iiwanan mo punta sa Canada. Isa lang naman request ko. I know God will help. Come back 4 times a year to the Philippines to monitor the project personally on the thing, no? Because you're still responsible for it.
Okay. Now, regarding this, the question is, to what extent is Charlie responsible? Kasi baka ang hinihingi lang siya ng Diyos, itanim mo lang. Yung pag-aalaga, hindi mo na responsibility. Okay.
Kasi ganito, no? Let me extend a little bit.
Wait. Let me go back to him and then I'll go to you now. I want to connect with brother for the sake of everybody.
Right.
It's not for my sake. I want to encourage you to take this seriously. And I want to encourage you because after all the depth that I've learned in the first and the third, it's really important. When brother mentioned the journey from one end to another, my journey, the question that you might want to ask is how do I know that God is the one talking to me? How do I know? How do I know that God is with me? This is really God's will. He talked about the journey from discernment from point 1 to point 3 of living or migrating to Canada. In that journey, and if I may just share that experience, I know and I discovered that I know because God sent me a coach. If I were just to do it on my own, there is no way to verify. Then I don't really know if it's God. It might just be the devil. I'm just going on the experience. But this has to be a coach. So therefore, number 1, you need this. Ganda na siya. Okay.
Iba kasama ko yun.
Ayun sa ano, dami ko.
How do I know? So he sends me a coach. I think a spiritual director is important. That's one. Number 2, I think being a spiritual director, having a life coach is important. You do not rely on your own. We can never be independent. We are interdependent. It just so happened maybe our life coach, which is supposed to be our partner, is not the life coach we need because they become the partner, becomes our, may become our cross or not the right person. So what I'm saying is the journey is confirmed because of the spiritual director, and that is God sent. Another thing, how do I know? There are signs. From the life coach to the signs. And what are those signs that I have seen? The signs would be my faith. My faith is, what does that mean? When I go to church, I hear a priest. Whatever he may say might just be connected to what I'm doing and to what my life coach is telling me. Because I belong to the church. Remember, I presume we're all Catholics here or Protestant. We belong to a faith. And that faith has signs. He gives us priests, he gives us bishops, He gives us our parents, our husband, our wife. These are signs. But it's all verified, confirmed, or guided by a coach, spiritual director. So these are the experiences I have, because when you talk of journeying with the Lord, before I was talking generalities. So I journeyed with the Lord. Yeah. But I asked myself, how did I know it's Him? How do I know it's will? It's will. It's His will. How do I know I really am journeying with Him? How do I make the efforts? Kasi sometimes I forget and I become lazy. And I don't want anymore. What journey? I mean, I've got so many activities to do. But I realized He sends the right sign, the right message. And I'm so blessed because I belong to a church. Our church. I don't belong. I belong to a body. And these bodies have signs that talk to me. And then I can now dissect through this, through what brothers say. I can see different chapters of my life. No, I can say now, after this Christmas, when I wrote my last journal, I have graduated from my first half of life. I have graduated. I'm done with my first half of life. The life of success, the life of ego, the life of making a mark, the life of getting the attention of people and telling them, look how good I am. Hey, hi. I'm done. And God guided me there.
Kaya yung sinasabi mo, Charlie, yung affirmation.
Yung affirmation, oh.
Like yung kay Larry, yung tanong niya na, yung sa clams, no, to come back 4 times a year. But you see, no, the discernment is going to Canada.
Yes. So,
Yun muna.
Yes.
Ngayon, kung nasa Canada siya at pinapakita ng Diyos na makabalik siya to do that work, that will come.
Yes.
No? Pero the Lord will be affirming it.
Yes.
Okay? No? Kung gusto niyang bumalik siya. Kasi pwede rin nangyari na pagpunta niya ng Canada, makakahanap na yung resort ng isang champion.
Correct. Yeah.
Who will take care of the clams, no? And not anymore of Charlie. No, kasi remember, if it is God's work, no, He will make it work whether we are there or not. No? We are only instruments. Okay? No, so we have to trust. Now, if you ask, so what makes him decide to go? Kasi nga, there are affirmations that is moving him towards that. Example, taking care of the clams. No, as long as you have money, you can find someone who can do that. Pero being a father to his children, no one can replace that. No? So you see, no, part of the discernment is what are my priorities. No, there is clarity. No? Or example, no? The case of Oliver. Oliver is teaching. He's a good teacher. Students like him. And yet, he is here now into real estate. No? So, nandoon siya na, no, am I called to real estate or to teaching? No? Sabi niya, I'd like to go full-time into real estate sana. Gano'n. So, nandun yung discernment. So, sabi ko sa kanya, tingnan mo. No? Nasaan yung energies? No? Nasaan yung itong mga criteria na ito? No? Where is it moving you? Okay, no? So, no, when we do like this, no, kasi yung gusto mo, hindi lang sasabihin, hindi lang susuportan ka ng Diyos. No. He will find ways and means in order for you to see, no, if it is for you or not. Okay, bakit? Kasi kunyari, no, katulad mo, no, gusto mo mag-real estate. Kung yun ang gusto ng Diyos, ibibigay niya sa iyo ang kailangan mo para makapasok ka dyan. Yung smooth transition na makapagre-resign ako, yung smooth transition na makakapasok ko rito. Okay. Bakit? Bakit ibibigay ng Diyos yung gusto ko kung yun ang makakabuti sa akin? Kasi yun ang makakatulong para ako mapalapit sa Kanya. Ginagamit lang ng Diyos yung real estate mo. Ginagamit lang ng Diyos yung business mo para ikaw mapalapit sa akin. Kasi mas importante ka kesa doon sa business. Mas importante ka kesa sa decision na ginagawa mo. Okay? Kasi example, pumasok ka sa real estate. Tapos after some time, na-realize mo, ay hindi pala para sa akin ito. Oh, so masasabi ba nating failure ka? Hindi. Kasi mas importante ka sa Diyos. Kung hindi mo pinasok yan, hindi mo malalaman kung para sa iyo o hindi. No? So it's something to be grateful for. No? Kasi kung minsan, inisip natin failure, so negative. Hindi eh. Okay? So you became a better person. Bakit? Kasi may alam ka na as being an employee, may alam ka rin sa real estate. You know more. You know better. Okay? Kaya importante yung yung kasama mo ang Diyos sa decision making. Now, in the same manner, importante rin makakatulong na you're able to reflect on the experience, tapos parang may coach ka or sounding board na para bang, Bademon, ganito yung nangyayari sa akin. No? Tama ba? Does it make sense? No? How do we see it? Ganun no? Parang a different perspective. Diba? Ganun, no? So you consult people.
So,
Okay.
I just want to add,
Kaya nga, informed choices leads to better decisions kasi you're able to choose better.
so I think I just want to add, why would he like to encourage you? These are good concepts, theories, application, but it becomes more effective if you're able to consult while you're here, make use of Brother One, be with Brother One, talk to him. Do not take it for granted. Then maybe when you leave this place, there's no more Brother One. Look for an equivalent to Brother One. You must do that. Look for a life coach. It definitely, most of the time, it cannot be your partner. Most of the time. I would think 95% of the time, it cannot be your partner. Because you're too close. No? As you say, familiarity leads to that. Maybe you should just get somebody, and
De, pero Charlie, remember, one of the things I taught you is what we call communal discernment.
yes. But the communal discernment would not have happened if I did not be
Right.
my coach.
Oo. Ang sinasabi ko doon sa communal discernment is, ikaw, meron kang style ng decision making. Kayong mag-asawa, meron din kayong decision making style. Kunyari, pag meron kang gusto, alam mo kaagad na, gusto rin ng asawa ko to.
Ayan, tama.
Kaya hindi mo na siya i-consult. No? Hindi rin siya magke-question. No? May time din na, ito ayaw ko kasi alam ko yung asawa ko ayaw din. No? Pero may mga decisions na you consult. No? Kasi you're not sure. Okay? So, meron din yung couple decision making. No? Meron din couple discernment. No? May time na ang Diyos pumapasok din sa mag-asawa. No? In
Yes.
terms of decision making. No? Like what you were saying. No? Kasi there was an offer to Georgia. No? Diba? No? Pero yung nga, in the discernment, hindi eh. No? Ikaw na nakasense, pati siya. So, meron din gano'n. No? Na sometimes, no, the couple, hindi kayo pareho sure kasi it's something unfamiliar to both of you. Kunyari, bagong sitwasyon. No? Hindi mo alam, hindi ka clear, then you consult. Kaya may ninong tsaka ninang ng kasal.
Yan, tama. Oh. But sometimes they don't. They're not.
Okay. Anyway, let's go for lunch break.
Brother, one last one. This one. Kasi yung ni brother, clarity. That's a very important word. Clarity brings to me peace. When there's no clarity, there's no peace. Okay?
Not only peace, there is excitement.
There's excitement. Yeah.
Nabubuhay ka eh.
So, my journey from point 1 to point 3 was about discerning to a certain how do you call it? Uh, to reach my destination, my destination, point one point. And the journey was about discerning. And then of course, I was given a spiritual director. I read the signs. I believe in the church. I believe in faith. I believe in prayers. It's all combined in the journey with the Lord. Now, this particular story, this particular comment, brother, you see how obvious it can be. Our discernment is to go there, to fulfill a certain situation with my family, with my children, my wife, and that's to be happy. And the offer comes not to my wife. The offer just came right before Christmas. The offer was made through me because the person knows me, doesn't really know my wife. But he knows my wife through the work my wife does. And he offered a big amount. Let's say it's $220,000 a month a year. That's equivalent to $4 to $5 million pesos a month. That was the offer to my wife. To work. Now, so she works, she can be based here, she can be based in Canada, but she's going to work. That's a very attractive offer. You know, of course, I jumped into it, called her up right away. But again, even when she got excited, I said, she couldn't believe it. Immediately, you know, the day after I called her back, and then I went back to the person and told him, it's not possible. He didn't say why, he asked why. I called her back, and I said, you know, George, but your name's George. You can't do it. This is why. I mean, you know, give me the time. You can't, sabi ko, because it's gonna take time from you, it's gonna kill you. You know, I know you, when you work, you forget everyone. You know? And you're gonna travel all over the world. You can't. You can't. And it went back to the discernment. Therefore, she didn't believe me in saying you can't. She believed in the main topic, which was said, sabi nga niya, I won't, because that is not the discernment. What is the discernment? That you and I and the family and the children will be in Canada. Because if I don't do the discernment, then this is not God's will. And that is clear to her. Can you imagine if that was another person who did not go to the discernment, who did not discern? Can you just imagine? Here we are moving to Canada, and then we offer 4 million a month, 5 million pesos. I think she would have dropped me. I think she would have left me. She said, Charlie, this is more important. It's 5 million pesos a month. I mean, you know, I'm already 62. Pero pa kumukuha sa akin. No? Ayaw mo yun? I'll provide. I'll be good. You don't do anything anymore. Kids, I'm gonna provide everything. I'm gonna give you a house and land here in Canada. No? I'll provide. Do it. Because of the discernment. It became so clear to us. No regrets. No hesitation. It did not take us long. I did not have to call Brother Mon. Brother, may problema kami. My wife and I, there is this thing, you know, being proposed to us. Hindi. It was pandemic. Sabi na lang niya, nga gagawin. Not because you're telling me, Charlie, I'm going to change. Hindi yun ang discernment natin, di ba? Oo nga.
Pag titignan mo kasi yon, no? Why is it a good discernment? Not to follow it. Actually, it's more of a temptation rather than God's will. Bakit? It's good to be true.
It's too good to be true.
Yes.
Too good to be
Ano, kasi ganito, no? Ang tamang discernment, kung ang buhay mo normal. Pag extremes na masaya ka at extremes na malungkot, hindi good discernment yun. Kaya pag magulo ang isip, huwag kang mag-decide. Okay, pag masyado kang high, huwag ka rin masyadong decide kasi hindi yung normal state mo. So, kunyari, may nag-offer sa'yo, no? Uy, excited ka, no? Kasi may gustong bumili. Eh, hindi pa yun yung reality. The reality is, pag na-close yung deal.
So, going to Larry's point about this, you really believe in the word discernment and the journey, and you say, Larry, kasi hindi, may iiwan kasi parang binabayaan mo lang, that is your opinion. That is your individual self-interest for me. But that is not the discernment. Because if this was not clear to me, then therefore I will follow you. I will follow you. Oh, sayang. Ako alis. Ay, ako, lahat ang ginawa ko dito. Sayang, hindi clear. George, ano naman? I mean, nagtayo tayo ng ganito. Even my partners, my investors, they would question me. My American investor, what the hell are you doing? You made me you made me invest, and now you're going away. He knows. Actually, he just called me last Christmas. Are you in Canada? No, of course, I'm here. I have to manage our affairs. Ah, okay. You see, because of clarity, because of the discernment, God provided everything. As brother said, I'm just an instrument here. I don't feel like own it.
Yeah, tsaka yung kanya is, moving to Canada is not only for his good. One of the things is, the people will be prepared for that decision. And so one of the things that he is doing is, okay, preparing people, preparing the place as he moves on. No? Pero yung up to a certain extent. No? Pero kasi after that, you also have to learn to let go. No? I can do only as much. At a certain point, God has to take over. No? Kasi that is where you have to sense, is it still about God or about me? When do I follow Him? When do I let go? So there is a lot of listening that one has to do. No? Is it about me or is it about Him? No? So some guidance is important in that sense. Yeah. Larry, sige.
What I find helpful right now in the discussion, we've moved from individual discernment, which is really a key foundation. You have to learn to discern individually, and there's a way of doing it that Ignatius has taught, and Brother Mon has really crystallized. From individual discernment, we move to communal discernment, as the big word. Communal. We get discerned alone, the discernment in the body. And part of the body, aside from Charlie, his wife Georgia, the role of Brother Mon, the spiritual director, in terms of helping clarify the stuff. What was clarified for me? In the discussion right now, when Charlie was presenting the discernment process, that he went through the years and the details of Brother Mon's role. And I raised my question. I said, okay, discern yan, no? Pero, nung inumpisahan mo to, and lalo na with Redeem the Reef and this whole thing, and then you say you're going to leave, siyempre, questions come to my mind. But questions come in the context of the communal discernment that has taken place. I can choose to shut up and say, alam niya kinausap si Panginoon, tapos kinonfirm ni Brother Mon. So, Larry, ano bang sinasabi mo magsalita ka? My insight here is this, no? And I stand corrected. I could shut up, but I chose not to. Because I was the one disturbed by the fact that may commitment si Charlie rito and is raising the stakes. It's not just real estate play. It's real estate plus the VIP, the Verde Island Passage, the ecology of this and the commitments he's making to this place and the people in this place. And sasabihin niya, aalis siya. Bigla. Saan ko pwedeng ganun, Charlie? You come back 4 times to continue the inspiration, continue giving your inputs. Kasi we're now in a global world. We're not just Philippines.
Larry, my point there is this. Number one,
No, let me just finish.
in this life, you are not Charlie.
I know.
So, and I am not stopping you from telling from insisting to say what you want to say. But the thing is, this is the difference. I sound to me very happy, and it's very clear. And I hear from you a certain grin, darkness. Iiwanan mo kasi ganito, ganyan. So there is that thing between you and me. And you helping me discern better. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. No? But the question is this time, the issue is this. The people who invested here, as I said, and have contributed here, have no doubt. They are the investors. They are the ones who enter first. But you have doubt. I wonder what that doubt and where that doubt is really coming from in your heart. Is there a vested interest also for you? So if there is, then that is your personal reasonings, that is your discernment. You cannot reverse, you cannot say, let's argue with this, and then tell everybody. If I were not clear about what I'm doing, I will tell you now, please stop saying that. But go ahead, tell everybody. Which you did. Did I ever get disappointed that you did that? Did I ever even get disappointed? People came to me and said, hey, your brother is challenging you. Sabi ko, yeah, because he's concerned. Because he's concerned. But I do not take that concern negatively. I look at it as a concern not for me, but for you. And I think you should pray for that for yourself, but not me. Because what will happen according to how God planned it. That is His will. How do I know it's His will? Because I discern. And what is this part of that discernment? As I said a while ago, the dynamics is you have to have a spiritual director. So, we prayed, I consulted. I looked at the signs of the times. So the signs were who are the signs? Priests, bishops, people around me, and my own wife. That's where the familiar word comes in. For me, for me. So if even Georgia was at all in doubt, no, like when the offer came, 120,000 a year, then I would begin to wonder, and therefore there's going to be a great discussion between the two of us. But she's not at all in doubt. She is all for it, and as you can see, even in the Verde, she knows what will happen in the Verde Island Passage. She knows what will happen, but she has supported me 100%. Go ahead, let's do the Verde Island Passage. But she never reminded me na, hey, don't forget, we're leaving, we're going to.
And there are two discernment here. No? The first discernment is moving to Canada. Second discernment is, are we still going to be involved in the project of
That's what's helpful to me.
Kasi
That's
it could-
what I wanted to say.
Right.
In other words,
No.
before Charlie jumped in and interrupted what I was trying to say, it's precisely the point you make about two discernments. That right now, nataman ako ng light bulb. It's not that I'm trying to challenge him or anything. My intent is for him, for people to be properly good relationships, develop a lot of relationships, including my commitment to supporting him in this. I supported him in this, despite knowing that he's going to leave.
Right.
Because sinabi niya eh. But in my mind, the project is so good, why should I not support when I know I'm in a position to help him in the crowdfunding, etc. But when you pointed out, right now, teka muna, dalawang discernment ko. One is the movement to Canada that we explored deeply. The second and separate discernment
Kasi yung second discernment is a question of si Charlie pa rin ba? O ibang tao na?
Oo nga. Kaya nga lagi, hindi lang naman to eh. You know, when you look at the overall scheme of things, the bigger thing is my bigger investment in construction. It's nothing. But you see, as brother said, in the course of time, God is made it clear. And how is He made clear? He has sent people, resources, circumstances that is telling me you can go. Right? For example, this one. If there was any doubt at all in the scheme of things in the discernment, as the brother told me before, you cannot leave because things are not clear yet, then everybody would just walk and stop me. Alis. No? Because I have millions of investment in it. This is complete. Yours is not theory. This is incomplete. The same with construction. Why are you doing this? Because, you know, in the course of the discernment, I have made action plans to prepare. Why did I prepare? Because I heard the word. And the Lord tell me, hey, wait, you do these things first. Let's clear things first. Go through the process. Kumbaga, sow the seeds so that you can reap, so that you can harvest. I did sow the seeds. And that's part of the discernment. So that in this way, I can reap it. I can say, okay, God said to me, go. Thank you, because I journeyed with Him, so He has blessed me. Now, I'm saying this story and this experience because I want to relate it to me. This is what I went through. You can go through this. You can relate to this. You know, it's so important that listen, try to relate to the experience, and then you have an opportunity of very good spiritual mentor. And hopefully you will get one. In my prayer, I will pray for you that you will get another one. Equivalent to Him.
Break.
Yun na, ha? So, I just want to say that it's very important. This is such
1 o'clock na. Nagugutom na kami.
This is such an important event for you.
My request
Not for me.
is after
Or
the
for
break,
him. It's for you.
After the break, I request permission to address not Charlie, but Lil, her situation.
Yeah, we love sharing.
And I leave it at that.
We love sharing.
We'll back to that.